Good morning, good afternoon, good night. I don't know when you're watching this, but welcome. I'm so glad that you're back. We are going to plan a vision board together today. So we're gonna be creative, we're gonna have some fun, and we're going to focus on the questions that I asked in the last video. If you haven't seen part 1, please watch that one first, because this is part 2. And in part 1, we are discussing questions you have to ask yourself before you plan your vision board and before you plan for your future self. And in this video, we're gonna plan everything together. I'm gonna tell you what you need, I'm gonna tell you what to do, and then you are going to make your own vision board. So without further ado, let's start. So in this video, we have 3 focus points: getting the basics clear, being creative, and making your vision board. And the things that you will be needing to make your vision board are the answers from the last time, so from part 1, a notebook, pen and markers, glue, scissors, Canva or a photo frame, and maybe extra things. I don't know what you like, but the rest that you want on top of it, you can just grab those things. So if it comes to having the basics clear, I always have 5 topics or 5 themes what I stick to. And I don't know if you can see the board well. I have the theme mental health, love and relationships, finance, career, and spirituality. Those things are the 5 themes where I'm focusing on when I'm making my vision board. I think for my life, I don't know how it is for your life, but for my life, these 5 things are very important for me and they connect with each other. So for example, I have to make sure that my mental health is right, because if my mental health is right, I'm in a good state and then I can take care of myself and I can eat healthy. If I eat healthy, I have enough energy to wake up the next day and go to the gym. So all those things for me personally, they're connecting with each other. And of course, not for every theme or topic I set a lot of goals, because it also depends on where I'm at in life. So let's say this year was the year that I was really focusing on relationships, personal growth, and really being with myself, with my inner self. And the year before was more my year of career and choosing which way I want to go and thinking about that. So for every team I have a goal, but I think for me personally, for 1 or 2 teams, they're like in the center, because you know, you're growing towards that. And for other topics, I may be already content with where I am, and then sometimes I just make a little adjustment, but then I'm just like, how's it going now? It's okay. Maybe little tweaks and that will be fine. With every team, you're going to write down what you want to achieve for this year. And I encourage you to only write down 3 things. And make sure that if you're making your vision board, I want it to be 70% that you're focusing on your inner self. You're focusing on things that you can control and that boost you to grow, and 30% on material things. But I encourage you to make your vision board in a way that is not too materialistic, if that makes sense. And also try to think about that if you want something materialistic, what kind of habit or lifestyle or things you have to do to achieve the thing you want. So for example, let's say you want a new car in 2025. Okay, that's the goal, that's materialistic. You want the car. But what do you have to do yourself to make sure that you can buy that car? So I will then write down for this year, monthly, I want to save money from my salary I get every month and put it aside. The thing you are doing is not, I want to buy the car. No, you're gonna set money aside. So what you're gonna learn then in this year is you setting money aside to eventually being in a position to buy your car. Does that make sense, guys? So in my previous video and the questions I asked, you have an answer, right? You make sure that your vision board aligns with the answers you had for yourself that you made in the second part. In this part, you're gonna take your laptop or your computer or I don't know, your phone, and you're going to Pinterest and Canva. Me personally, I don't use Canva a lot because I make my vision board with my own hand and make sure that it's like old school with glue and stuff like that. But you can go to Pinterest and you can search for images that gives you a certain vibe. Let's say you're focusing on career. This year you want promotion. Me personally, I will search for career career promotion and then you get all images, and a lot of the times if you feel like one image is giving a certain vibe that you like but you're not necessarily sure, then you click on the image, then you go to the next image, and Pinterest will show you other images that looks like the image you like. In that way you can find images that suits you. So if it comes to Pinterest and I'm making my vision board, I'm always making sure that I have different folders for each topic. In that way I can search per topic. So I start with, let's say, mental health, and if I have enough images I go to the next one, love and relationships, then I go to the next one, then I go to the next one, then I go to the next one. If it comes to mental health, I'm writing down goals that has to do with education, meditation, prayers, educational stuff that I go to listen to. Sports as well, depends. But it's a lot of things that I can do to achieve my emotional intelligence, but also make sure that I'm staying content and I'm staying in tune with myself. Love and relationships, always number one. I have God at the center, but also the relationship with myself. For a long time on my vision board, a part of natural hair was on my vision board because for me personally, don't come for me, I felt like being in touch with who I am as a person. I had to invest more in learning to take care of my hair. Finances, I write down goals that I want to achieve, and not only like what do I want in my bank account, but also things like I want to spend more money on buying books or going out to places that I can learn, workshops, personal growth, saving. But don't forget, please make it realistic so that you won't beat yourself up if it doesn't happen the way you want. And then of course career. I feel like I've always been someone who is career driven, and if it comes to career, I always reflect on where I'm standing, where I want to go, and which steps I have to take to go there, or what do I have to do this year to eventually go in the right direction where I want to end. So if you have everything, your images, your text, everything you want for your vision board, you can do two things. Some people like to make it in Canva, bring them all together and have like a digital vision board. Me personally, as I said before, I like to make it myself, cut the pieces, everything together, make it a whole vision board myself, but also because taking the time to make my vision board in that way, using my glue, it's almost like a certain puzzle you're making. Me personally, it feels very relaxing, but it also feels like I'm really taking my time to get things clear and get my vision clear for the coming year. I just want you to know the information I give you in this video is everything you need. And the most important part is my previous video, so part 1, where you answer the questions I ask or you're gonna ask yourself. And if you have that foundation, making a vision board is very easy because you're gonna mold it into your own. So I want to encourage you to only watch my part 1 and then this one. At a certain point, stop and just do it yourself. And it doesn't have to be perfect, because if you look at mine, I have a lot of white spaces in between. I don't even know why. Your vision board doesn't have to meet conditions because it's your vision board. So please challenge yourself, to make those questions, be creative, do your thing, and just make it your own vision board, because it's your vision board, it's your vision. Make it yours. And if sometimes life hits you and you fall out of balance, please don't be harsh on yourself. Life is a journey and you just have to walk your journey. If you fall back, make sure that if you stand up, you breathe, you get all your energy back, and then you go back again. Good luck, guys, and I know for sure you're gonna kill it.